Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We will now commence the 30th Annual General Meeting of Mphasis Limited over video conferencing. For the smooth conduct of the meeting, all the lines of the shareholders are muted. The audio and video of the speaker shareholders will be enabled once they are invited to speak at the AGM by the chairman. The proceedings of the AGM are being recorded and will be hosted on the website of the company after the AGM. Without any delay, I hand over this meeting to Mr. Davinder Singh Brar, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Mphasis Limited, for conducting the AGM proceedings. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the 30th Annual General Meeting being conducted virtually. It's now 9 a.m. The quorum has been checked and is found to be in order, and we'll commence the proceedings. With your permission, I would like to take the notice convening this AGM as read. The members may please be informed that the statutory registers, that is, Register of Directors and key managerial personnel and their shareholding, Register of Contracts or arrangements in which directors are interested, Register of Proxy, Statutory Auditor's Report and Secretarial Audit Reports, and certificate as required under SEBI, Share-Based Employee Benefits and Sweat Equity Regulations 2021, which are required to be placed at the AGM, are available for inspection at the NSDL website under the tab AGM Documents. I would now like to introduce the directors virtually present for this meeting. We have Mr. Nitin Rakesh, Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director, Mr. Narayanan Kumar, Chairman of the Audit Committee, Ms. Jan Kathleen Heyer, Chairperson of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, Mr. Amit Dixit, Mr. Amit Dalmia, Mr. David Lawrence Johnson, and Mr. Marshall Lux present at this meeting. I am Davinder Singh Brar, Chairman of the Board and the Stakeholders Relationship Committee. I record that the authorized representatives of the statutory auditors, secretarial auditor, and the scrutinizer are also virtually present at this meeting. I further record that all feasible planning and execution has been done for enabling electronic participation and voting of the members for this AGM. It's also confirmed that electronic voting is available throughout the AGM. I would now like to share with you the performance highlights of the company for the financial year 21 and other important developments. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 30th Annual General Meeting of your company. It has been a year since we last met, and it's great to be with all of you again, albeit remotely in these unprecedented times. Thank you for joining us. This is my 6th year as the chairman of Mphasis, and each time we have met, we have had important matters to reflect on, and this year is no different. While I am grateful for a lot that happened in 2020-21, I cannot discuss this past year without first acknowledging both the pain and tragedy that the COVID-19 pandemic has inflicted worldwide and closer to us on so many of our clients, colleagues, vendors, and partners. The past year has had a defining impact on our lives: a health pandemic, a global recession, a transformation of how we live and work. Adversity, however, can be a catalyst for incredible ingenuity and humanity across the world. We witnessed tremendous innovation. Scientists developed vaccines in record time. Teachers found new and creative ways to help their students to learn. Restaurant owners rethought their business models, and families found creative ways to celebrate special occasions. This pandemic has resulted in new business opportunities across the world, resulting in an accelerated adoption of the gig economy and mitigating risk of geographic concentration. Your company's client-centric delivery strategy of proactively creating technology solutions, tapping into scalable talent pool closer to client markets has helped tremendously in this changing environment. The long-term stakeholder value creation that drives business decisions made it extremely critical to have access and be close to sales and delivery hubs. Your company thus diversified sales and delivery in multiple geographies. FY21 has been a breakthrough year for your company, as it currently has a market capitalization of over $8 billion. The accelerated digital transformation journey for business globally has translated Mphasis financial year 21 into a breakout year of growth. Your company has recorded the highest ever TCV wins in direct business of $1.11 billion. The growth of 22.5% in the direct business on a reported basis was a historic despite the pandemic. The earnings per share of the company grew 2.5% to rupees 61.58 in FY21. Excluding one-time income tax benefit of rupees 2.30 per share in FY20, EPS grew 6.3%. The company has performed consistently through its client centricity, but at the same time has continued to invest in strengthening its targeted go-to-market and delivery guilds. I have a few other strategic updates to share. The company acquired Datalytics, a leading next-gen data engineering and consultancy company headquartered in London. Datalytics UK provides next-gen data engineering, data ops, and master data management solutions on Snowflake and Talend environments to clients globally, helping turn raw data into actionable information at scale. Mphasis has been awarded a US patent for its revolutionary deep learning-based framework, AutoCode.ai, which applies artificial intelligence to automatically generate code and streamline the software development process. The code creation process in software development is manual, time, cost, and effort intensive. AutoCode.ai enables users to quickly transition from whiteboards to code in hours and rapidly prototype applications through hyper-personalized designs and code. The company achieved Amazon Web Services migration competency status. This recognition is a testament to the work Mphasis has been undertaking in migrating several of our clients in highly regulated industries to AWS through a foundation-first approach that accelerates modernization and refactoring of mission-critical applications. Achieving the AWS migration competency differentiates Mphasis as an AWS partner network premier consulting partner that provides specialized proficiency and proven customer success with specific focus on AWS migration consulting. Recent events have highlighted the critical role that financial resilience resilience plays in the sustainability of every supply chain and the structural gaps that still exist in how financing is traditionally deployed. The company has partnered with R3 to develop a blockchain-based payments and financing network for global supply chains that will allow small and medium-sized businesses, typically the weakest link in most supply chains, to easily and digitally access working capital and other financial services that will help bolster and strengthen the entire supply chain. Leveraging R3's blockchain platform called Corda, Mphasis is strategically extending its payments and trade finance technology solutions portfolio. There was a change in control consequent to the acquisition of 55.97% of the share capital by BCP Topco 9 Private Limited from Marble 2 Private Limited in August 2021. The company continues to be a part of Blackstone Group under another fund. Blackstone's sustained strategic partnership will help the company accelerate its growth and scale new heights. Sovereign and pension funds co-investing is a testimony to long-term commitment and a vote of confidence from a marquee set of shareholders. These initiatives and more underway signal concerted strategic moves by your company to invest, participate, and grow in new generation technologies and services while continuing to optimize our core business. As a result of these efforts, your company has received the Economic Times Best Tech Brand of the Year 2021 award under the Most Accelerated Digital Transformation Company category. In corporate social responsibility, your company's philanthropic activities are governed by the CSR Committee of the Board, which approves the CSR budget and monitors its implementation as per the CSR policy of the company. Your company has directed its CSR spend towards creating lasting social impact, which has been outlined in the annual report of the company. Mphasis F1 Foundation, a philanthropic arm of the company, invests in the areas of education, inclusion, and livelihood through non-profit and social enterprises. The endeavor of the foundation has been to support unique initiatives with the potential to deliver substantial social impact. During the financial year of 2021, Mphasis F1 Foundation has continued to support innovative programs that work towards the inclusive development of society. At the core of the CSR strategy, the company endeavors to bring about social change by applying the power of technology and disruptive solutions. As a socially responsible organization, the company has contributed to the positive impact and relief measures through the Mphasis F1 Foundation. These are some examples: COVID-19 relief by providing timely resources, benefits that offered possible help, both monetary and non-monetary, to all employees and their families. Your company has also partnered with NGOs to facilitate immediate relief efforts by means of over 1 million meals to the needy, medium-term income recovery programs for 3,000 plus families, and 2 tech startups working on COVID-19 tracing and diagnostics. Mphasis supported 8 non-profit startups through the Nudge Foundation, working in thematic areas such as environment, healthcare, sports, governance, agriculture, etc. Your company strengthened this partnership to further support 12 early-stage social enterprises. We trained over 1,000 college girls from financially stressed backgrounds with vocational skills enabling 100% placement for opt-ins. Mphasis partnered with Ashoka University to create a laboratory for machine learning and computational thinking, which combines machine learning and design thinking to create convincing proof of concepts and prototypes with broad societal effect. Currently, it is working on 6 proof of concepts in areas such as explainable artificial intelligence, rational drug design, privacy-preserving machine learning, crypto systems, etc. I'm also pleased to share that 2 of your company's CSR programs, in partnership with Social, Alpha, and IIM Bangalore, focused on incubation and acceleration of social enterprises, have been awarded a platinum rating in demonstrating the impact benefiting stakeholders by Blue Sky Sustainable Business LLP, an impact assessment agency for CSR programs. Mphasis efforts are underpinned by the company's commitment to communities, and building a sustainable business remains fundamental to this strategy. Your company is focused on creating long-term value for its investors and the communities. Financial year 21 was a year of accelerated growth, and I am confident that we will continue to sustain this through FY22 and beyond. Your company's strong performance has come amidst the world's toughest crisis, and it created greater value for our stakeholders. In summary, FY21 has been a breakthrough year for your company, as it touched a market capitalization of $6.7 billion, recorded the highest ever TCV wins in direct business of $1.11 billion, reported a historical growth of 22.5%, diversified sales and operations into multiple geographies such as Canada, Costa Rica, Estonia, Mexico, Taiwan, and further into the UK. Received the Economic Times Best Tech Brand of the Year 2021 award under the Most Accelerated Digital Transformation Company category. A week ago, Mphasis acquired Blink Interactive Inc., a Seattle-headquartered US user experience, research, strategy, and design firm to augment our experience and design competency. You will be happy to know that the Board of Directors have recommended a final dividend of Rs 65 per equity share, inclusive of special dividend of Rs 27 per equity share, of Rs 10 each for the financial year ended 31st March 2021, subject to your approval at today's meeting. In the years ahead, I am positive that Mphasis will continue to scale, transform, and stay ahead of the technology advancements as an applied tech company driven by cloud and cognitive technologies. Your company expects to see continued investment and benefits in FY22 through digital transformation of enterprises. If FY21 was all about resilience and continuity of business, FY22 is about clients starting to form and budget for medium to long-term plans around digital transformation. The company sees this opportunity broadly fitting in 4 buckets. Number 1, customer engagement using digital channels and design. Number 2, use of data in driving customer and operational analytics. Number 3, adoption of infrastructure and application transformation elements using cloud. And finally, investments to transform the basic core operations. Mphasis is a company with rich engineering and architectural heritage with a promising future. I wish all of us the very best as we carry out our individual responsibilities in building future success together. Thank you very much. I now request Mr. Subramanian Narayan, Company Secretary, to read the auditor's report and brief the members on the voting process to be followed at the meeting.
There are no qualifications, observations, or comments in the auditor's reports, which are required to be read at the meeting. With the permission of the members present, I take the auditor's report as read. As per law, the company has provided electronic voting by means of remote e-voting. As AGM is held virtually, the option for physical voting at the AGM is not provided this time. However, the company has enabled e-voting facility during the AGM for the members who have not voted through remote e-voting and who are present at the AGM and are otherwise not barred from voting at the AGM. The icon for e-voting is available on top of the screen under the e-voting tab, which will redirect the members to e-voting platform of NSDL. The e-voting facility would close after 15 minutes from conclusion of this AGM. The shareholders who have registered themselves as speaker shareholders will be allowed to speak, and such registered speaker shareholders may participate in the discussions on the items of business once the discussion is invited by the chairman. The queries shall be answered after all the allowed speaker shareholders have raised their questions. There will be no proposing and seconding of the resolutions as the meeting is held virtually. I now request the chairman to resume the proceedings. Thank you.
We will now take up the resolutions 1 to 9 as set forth in the notice. We'll open the lines for questions from the shareholders after all the resolutions are tabled at this meeting. Item number 1 is to receive, consider and adopt the audited financial statements for the financial year ending 31st March 2021. Item number 2 is to approve declaration of final dividend on the equity shares. Item number 3 is to re-elect Mr. Amit Dixit as a director who retires by rotation and seeks reappointment. Item number 4 is to re-elect Mr. Marshall Jan Lux as a director who retires by rotation and seeks reappointment. Item number 5 is in relation to approval for reappointment of Mr. Nitin Rakesh as the Chief Executive Officer and his appointment as the Managing Director for a period of 5 years with effect from 1st October 2021. Item number 6 and 7 relate to approval for Restricted Stock Option Plan 2021, RSU Plan 2021, and extend the benefits of the RSU Plan 2021 to the eligible employees of the subsidiary companies. Item number 8 relates to approval from the public shareholders for the participation of the employees and its directors, excluding the independent directors of the company and its subsidiaries in the Exit Return Incentive Plan 2021 proposed by BCP Topco 9 Private Limited. Item number 9 relates to approval from the public shareholders for the participation of the employees and its directors, excluding the independent directors of the company and its subsidiaries in the Investment Plan 2021 proposed by BCP Topco 9 Private Limited. The text of the ordinary and the special resolutions along with the explanatory statements are provided in the notice circulated to the members. May I request the members to treat the resolutions as read. I now invite the speaker shareholders to raise questions as they may have on the items of business of the meeting. I request the members to confine their queries strictly to the items of business of the meeting. I also request the moderator of the meeting to enable the speaker shareholders in the order of their registration. In the interest of time, I would request the speakers to restrict their questions and views to a maximum of 3 minutes. I now hand over the proceeding to the moderator to allow the speaker shareholders to raise their queries.
We now invite the first speaker shareholder, Mr. S.P. Besania. So you may please go ahead.
Chairman sir, Board of Directors, I am Aspi from Bombay. So at the outset, I congratulate the management on excellent results for the full year also and first quarter also. Can I expect the same trend to continue? Sir, I appreciate the US patent received by our company. Sir, please hold the AGM slightly early, say in July or August. Because today there are so many meetings, we'll have to run from one meeting to another. And hence, I would request the chairman to please reply immediately to my questions. So, shares acquired in open offer were only 65. Open offer price was only 1677. Who will give shares at 1677? Sir, I would like to know from the Blackstone directors as to what is the intention of the new promoters and what is the roadmap for the next 2 years. The director should also mention what is the promoter's intention, because the promoter's stake is only 56% at the moment. So I would request one of the Blackstone directors to answer this after my speech. So company has recommended dividend of rupees 65 when EPS was also 65. I would prefer to use the funds for acquisitions, since now the companies are available pretty cheap. We have cash on the balance sheet also. So what is the intention of the management? Why do you want to keep so much cash? You might as well acquire and grow faster. So thank you very much. I hope the moderator doesn't mute me before the Blackstone director replies. Thank you.
I think we will answer all the questions once all the shareholders have raised their queries. So we can move on to the next speaker, Diksha.
Thank you, sir. We now invite the next speaker shareholder, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf. So you may please proceed.
आदरणीय सभापति जी, उपस्थित सदस्यगण और मेरे शेयरहोल्डर भाइयों बहनों, जो आज आप वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस को थ्रू प्रेजेंट है, मेरा नाम संतोष कुमार श्राप है। मैं कलकत्ता से बोल रहा हूं सर। सर्वप्रथम आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार सर। आशा करता हूं आप अच्छे से और स्वस्थ होंगे सर। और सर, मैं उन भाइयों के लिए अपनी संवेदना प्रकट करना चाहता हूं जो कोविड में हमें छोड़ के चले गए, चाहे वो हमारे कर्मचारी हो या लव वंस हो। भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति प्रदान करे और उनके परिवार को हिम्मत दे, जिसे दुख भरी घड़ी में उभर के आए सर। एक सर, मैं मैनेजमेंट को धन्यवाद देता हूँ, काफी अच्छा रिजल्ट उन्होंने दिया है। इतना अच्छा रिजल्ट दिया कि मैं कुछ बोल नहीं सकता। दाम भी आज 3000 के करीबन है, तो क्या बोलूं सर। बाकी अब 1600 में आपने बाइक पे किया तो हम नहीं देंगे, कोई जरूरत ही नहीं हमको देना है, तो मैं कहता हूँ। और सर, मैंने प्रश्न लिख के भेज दिए पहले, वो शायद आपको मिल गए होंगे, उसका देख लीजिएगा। और सर, ये है कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम कितने परसेंटेज एम्प्लॉई अभी भी काम कर रहे हैं, इसके बारे में बताने कष्ट करिएगा सर। और जो प्रश्न है वो नितिन जी, आपको मिल गए ना मेरे प्रश्न नितिन जी?
जी
हाँ हाँ, तो उनको देख दीजिए और चेयरमैन साहब को बता दीजिए, वो जवाब दे दें कि बहुत लंबा खींचे तो और भी जैसे शेयर होल्डर आज कई मीटिंग है, इंतजार कर रहे हो। तो मैं फिर एक बार मेरे प्रश्न को टेबल पर रखते हुए चेयरमैन साहब का मैं धन्यवाद करता हूँ, देवेंद्र जी का। और देवेंद्र जी, आपके परिवार के जितने भी डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी अधिकारीगण हमारे हैं, उनके परिवार की लंबी उम्र की कामना करता हूँ। और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ, भगवान आप सभी को खुश रखे। और ये जो 2021 का जो फाइनेंशियल ईयर है, ये आप सबके लिए वेलनेस, हैप्पीनेस और प्रॉस्पेरिटी रहे और सेफ्टी के साथ व्यतीत हो सर। और साथ में मेरी नितिन जी और देवेंद्र जी रिक्वेस्ट है, वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग जरूर रखिए सर, चाहे आप सुबह 8 बजे रखिए या रात में 12 बजे रखिए, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। लेकिन हम अपने दिल की भावना आपको कह सकते हैं कलकत्ता से, अदरवाइज सर पॉसिबल नहीं होता जाके मीटिंग फिजिकली अटेंड करना, और इसमें खर्चा भी कम है। और एक चीज बता दिया नितिन जी, जो फिजिकल मीटिंग आप करते थे और आज जो वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग लास्ट अपने किए थे, उसमें अपने कितने पैसों की बचत हुई। जय हिंद, जय भारत। आप सभी की लंबे उम्र कामना करते हुए अपना वक्तव्य समाप्त करता हूँ। नमस्कार देवेंद्र जी, नितिन जी, नमस्कार।
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. We now invite the next speaker shareholder, Mr. S. Saravanan. So you may please go ahead.
Good morning to all the directors for giving such a wonderful annual report in this pandemic situation. Special thanks to our backbones of our company who worked at home and making the annual report a very pleasant. It's really colorful, and also the profit states is also colorful to see. Okay, thanks Nitin for doing such a wonderful job, and Breyer, thank you. Congratulations to the directors who took the initiatives for COVID-19 and making millions of people to have proper food at proper time. Our company should be rated in AAA level, I believe, for in COVID-19. Okay, I would like to know any of our employees has been affected. If so, what are the initiatives taken by the employer to the family? I was told that Tatas have taken a very beautiful step for making a person who is dead in COVID-19 by giving him a full salary till his retirement, sir. Any of those benefits, even in our company, has been made, kindly let us know about that, sir. I would like to thank our company secretary and especially Padmaja, who took all the initiative for the shareholders information to reach the shareholders every now and then. She used to call us and she used to take the voicemail, everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And thanks to all the backbones of our company for making this such a wonderful, profit motivated and also the colorful annual report. Thank you. Thank you, Nitin. Thanks for giving us the opportunity. Okay. Hopefully by next year we will meet in our own restaurants or the registered office. We are also sick of attending the AGM from home itself. Okay. Good luck to you, Nitin. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We invite the next speaker shareholder, Mr. Madanlal Patni. So you may please go ahead. Mr. Patni, request you to kindly unmute your audio and video and go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As board of directors, I have privilege to attend this annual general meeting. First of all, I congratulate all the members of the board of meetings, the chairman, Mr. Devendra Singh Brar and Mr. Niti Rakesh. Sir, I heard I am associated with company since public issue. I am very much to see you all your directors here. I have attended so many meetings like Mr. Jerry Rao, Mr. Bhasin, and all these things. They have cooperated. Emotionally, I see it. When this public issue came, it was 10 rupees, but it was application money was only, and we sold it at 950 of 10. Now I am pleased. This money has been become 30 lakhs of rupees. So congratulations of all you with Mr. as a good foundation of Mr. Bhasin, Mr. Jerry Rao, Mr. Menon, and they have already cooperated because this was a good shape they brought it, and they issued bonus continuously 3 years. So sir, my some grievances are there as I am older shareholder associated with my family members and everybody with company. There is a dispute for 200 shares, duplicate shares. Your management, your RTA, your Mr. Secretary, everybody has agreed. Yes, but it is now they made it a prestige issue. There is no anything is there, but they are telling go to the transferee who surrendered it share 20 years back and bring the NOC from him. Is it possible? company has written in 2 years so many letters. He is not coming up. I telephoned him. He is not coming up. So, sir, you can spend lakhs of rupees. Even same thing, he made the complaint. Company filed a case against her. So, because we were associated. So, what I mean to say, when your company will file unnecessary case against a shareholder or interpleader case, they've agreed filing in the case they have written in view of the rival claims. Where is the rival claims? You see, you personally appoint a separate person, competent person. There is no rival claims of anybody. Or rival claims. So how company can accept? But only the prestige issue. Your RTA is telling, as per law, the RTA is the competent authority to issue duplicate shares. But your RTA is not behaving well. They are threatening us. They are like they are unwanted or unwanted. So Mr. Giri, Mr. B. Kumar, they are not talking. They are telling go to company. Company is telling go to this thing. So sir, first thing, why this legal case is filed? SEBI has given so many options. I told them, you arrange a meeting with a competent person. We will go, we will talk, we will settle it. But I want to talk Mr. Subramaniam, if you give him the line, or your RTA, or your council. Why they have filed, sir? They are shareholders. SEBI has given so many options. There is no any claim from any third party. They know it, but this is only ego problem. A man in India who wants the court, he thinks he is all in all. He can do whatever he wants. In your case, you will spend the money, but in my case, we are small investors. We will spend the money going Bangalore, coming litigation, all this. So, sir, I request when there is a possibility, without this interpreter case, you can solve it. Then why you want it? I will represent by my advocate, my this thing. This is the case. These are the documents. The board of directors. This was happened in 2003 when Mr. Menon was the director. He called a meeting. Mr. Menon told whatever this secretary and RT has written, that must be honored by the company. So I think you will agree. Whatever this your RTA or secretary has written in writing, they are giving wrong information. NCLT case is there, but there is no case. So I want you give me 1 day, because otherwise without it I will go, nobody will meet there, because they know it is a fabulous case without any basis, only on prestige issue. So sir, we are your shareholder, whom Mr. Jerry used to call the owners of the company. And when I requested him, sir, there is advertisement expenses, we cannot bear. In 2003, we told advertisement will be borne by company. Then I told him, sir, STD call at that time was very costly. Then he told, whatever investor will telephone to secretary or RTA, if they are busy, they will telephone again. So this was the, and he declared 3 times bonus. And I met him, I attended so many attendance. So sir, whatever you will decide, because going and coming in India, court cases taking time consuming, expensive. Yours is a solid company, financial, you can spend lakhs of rupees. But sir, I am a small investor. Why you want keys? I did not purchase this for going to court. So you ask Mr. Secretary, what is the problem? He is asking me, 20 years back, the person who lost the shares, you bring him the NOC. Is it possible, sir? At the 20 years means 98, 2000. Is it possible? And if you want to have a share, you send your mail, you talk to him, his number is there. Only this is the problem. Otherwise, company has agreed to issue share. So your RTA is telling it is against law, but we cannot do, company wants it. You arrange your RTA, Mr. B. Kumar. Sir, this is my request before dead end. McKinsey, I heard your name, I seen your speech. I could not meet you in the economic times and all these things. Only you ask Mr. Secretary, when 20 years back a transfer lost this share, he did not file any criminal this case, and how you entertain him. In 98, when physical era was there, one share used to rotate hundreds of hands up to the AGM. So it was rotated. So who is the claimant? Only registered holder is responsible as per company law. Company has given a letter to registered holder given, yes, they have sold the share. So sir, only is it the prestige issue, technical issue. Mr. Subramaniam knows, your RTA knows, unofficial Mr. Bigiri, this Vijay Gopal agreed. Yes, we cannot do, company wants it. I asked him, can you ask him? Well, no, no, this is not the SEBI law. Company wants to, I know this company will never ask for 100, 200 shares to buy 10 rupees share in your books. What company will do? In 90, when this many have taken, we have offset thousands of shares. Because originally we are the broker in 93. When public issue came, promoter called us, we have arranged it. It was undersubscribed issue. We are happy by seeing your face and all these things. Sir, I attended all the meetings. So only one point, you asked Mr. Subramanian why this case was filed. There is no, why is giving wrong statement. You consult your RTA and appoint a, I will go there with the documents. You appoint one senior or transfer committee member who knows about law. I will be pleased, sir, नितिन जी. I know you आप तो हिंदी में भी समझते हैं, है कि नहीं है? शेयर होल्डर है, हम लोग बहुत खुशी है, हमारी फैमिली सब मेंबर है और हम लोग 9 रुपए में शेयर बेचे थे, आज 30 लाख रुपए दाम हो गया. कांग्रेचुलेशन यू आ गया, आप बढ़ेंगे, करेंगे. बराड़ साहब को नमस्कार. बराड़ साहब आप थोड़ा देखिए, कंपनी को कोई नुकसान नहीं हो, उसमें शेयर देने में कंपनी के कस्टोडियन. फिर कंपनी सर देखिए इंटरप्रीटर में खर्चा किया, क्यों किया? यू आस्क सेक्रेटरी क्यों किया, व्हाई हैज रिकमेंडेड. जब सेबी का इतना नियम है, लेकिन अक्सर अगर हम लोग बंगलोर जाएंगे 50,000 रुपया खर्च होगा. भाई आप केस चलाइए, आप हम लोग को पैसा दे दीजिए, रिम्बर्स कर दीजिए. either you reimburse me or withdraw the case, or as per law do it. This is my request. Sir, I want your reply. I want your reply.
Thank you, Mr. Madanlalji. We've got to understand the issue at hand, and we'll respond when all the questions are over and the queries from other shareholders who are waiting to speak. And we have noted your whole case, and we will handle it within the whatever law permits us to. But I think you have made some valid suggestions how it can be sorted out. And
so you give me dates, I can go there, I can meet. Otherwise, they will not meet me.
Nitin,
if I will go without this thing, secretary,
yes,
RTA,
yes.
they will not meet me. This is India, sir. After getting the post, he is the owner. Yeah,
No,
India,
I can understand the anguish of the shareholder. But
आप डेट दे दीजिए कि उस डेट को सेक्रेटरी आप मिलेंगे, हम आ जाएंगे.
No, I think these procedural issues or the bottlenecks that you are facing, we will try and sort it out in one meeting or one conversation. But please appreciate that. Please appreciate Madanlalji that we request the shareholder to contact the company directly, and also whatever we can do as a company, we can do only within the confines of the law. However, we note your anguish about this matter, and we will have a conversation set up or a meeting set up as you have requested.
You inform Mr. Secretary he will give me a date. On this date he is available, he is ready to talk.
We assure you that this will be done.
I made the complaint, they will avoid it.
No, they will not avoid. We'll make sure that this will not be avoided.
The telephone, they never talk. They never lift.
No.
You do not talk, sir. You are a shareholder. This RTA is not taking your phone. You ask them to lift your phone, they will talk to us.
अब आप जरा सुनिए, please, we will not handle it procedurally as you have described. We will make sure that the company secretary will set up a meeting or a conversation with you and the shareholder and find the best ways to resolve it. Please be assured on that, and Nitin will make sure that this meeting happens. So let's have the next speaker now, Diksha, because others may be waiting.
Thank you, sir. So this was the last speaker shareholder. Over to you, Chairman, for the proceedings.
Okay. So we have got a lot of questions from Ms. Aspi Besania, and Mr. Santosh Kumar had sent a lot of questions. First of all, I want to thank all the speakers for their concern about the company, the directors, the management, and the employees, and other stakeholders. Thank you very much for your concern. And regarding COVID issues, and also thank you for your kind words on the performance, the brilliant performance that the company has achieved. A lot of this credit goes to our CEO, Nitin Rakesh, and ably supported by his team. Despite the unprecedented situation of the pandemic, Nitin and his team not only helped company deliver exceptional performance, but also took care of the people who were impacted by the pandemic, their families, and many other employees who could not respond to the pandemic in a manner which they could have. So thank you for all your good wishes. Let me share with you some of the data on what the pandemic has created for us in Mphasis. First of all, in terms of the measures that the company undertook to handle that the work continues uninterrupted, and also the employee safety and that of their families were paramount. We, as of date, have vaccinated 46% of our employees with the first dose. 18% of all our employees are vaccinated with both the doses. The company is reimbursing the cost of vaccine for all the employees. Very unfortunately, 29 employees have deceased on account of COVID pandemic. In respect of these unfortunate deaths of employees, the company has come forward to support their families with ex gratia salary of 1 year, rupees 30,000 monthly support for 3 years, employment opportunity for the spouse or the eligible child of the deceased employee in the regions in which we operate. And this is in addition to the benefits that the employee would have drawn or his family would have drawn under the EDLI, gratuity linked insurance and group life term insurance upon the death of the employee. So these are some of the measures that have been taken for the employees. Coming to the operational side of the issues, the company has a COVID war room with 24/7 support to cater to all the requirements for employees. Through the last 18 months or so, we have been providing support and ensuring their safety and well-being. And since the very beginning of the pandemic, within a few months, until now, most of our employees have been working from home. And this process that has been established by Nitin and his team is very robust. While we are looking at bringing back to office kind of a program where employees will start coming back to office for work, but it's creditable to note that despite all the difficulties, we have managed to work efficiently with safety, with data security, with employee confidentiality, within the regulatory compliances that we are supposed to follow. And our clients worldwide have been very supportive, and almost all of them have accepted the systems and processes that we have established to deliver the services that we are expected to. So these are some of the steps that the company has taken. It relates to 4 buckets. One is employees, the clients, the compliances and the security aspects, and finally the oversight that the management and the company has to have on all these matters to ensure that there is no data security or confidentiality or compliance issues that our clients suffer. So I'm happy to report that none of that has happened. And despite the difficulties, the management has kept the operations working super efficiently throughout this period. Coming to your question regarding Blackstone and the price of the open offer. First, I would like to say that the open offer price is as per the takeover regulations of the takeover regulations in this company. So there has been, you may have, you raised the point of the share price and subsequently the price at the time of the offer was exactly in line with the takeover regulations code. And subsequently, if the share price has gone up, you know, that is good luck to all the shareholders and the investors. But I just want to say that your comments about Blackstone and the future of the company, all I can say is that the company has an excellent future. The Blackstone company has strong conviction in the company, its strategy of digital cloud, and which is now reflected in the performance of the company. And they, like you asked a question that what is Blackstone's intention? Blackstone, since their investment in Fund 1 and now in another investment through their other fund, have created enormous value in the company with their participation. So they have nothing but company's performance and strategy in mind and take it to the next level. As you see that at the end of March, when we closed the year, the company had a market cap of 6.7 billion. Today it's close to 8.5 billion. So within the second fund coming in, the share price or the company's value, which is all performance linked, at the end of it, it's all how the management and the company performs in the marketplace. But, and to support their commitment to the company and its advancement are some of the resolutions for incentivizing the management and the stakeholders to perform in a manner that the company's share price moves up in the coming years along with the market opportunities in digital and cloud. So I would say that that is the, like you said, what's the intention of Blackstone? The intention of Blackstone is to see that the company scales a valuation of 10 billion, not sooner than later. And as an investor, they have been an excellent investor in both their funds. And I hope this performance can continue with their investment, which gives rewarding returns to all the shareholders. You also asked a question why the meeting was held late. I think AGM has been held late this year, unlike the previous years, because there are restrictions in fixing the record date for dividends when an open offer is process is ongoing. So because of that, we were not able to secure an earlier date for the AGM. And I can assure you that from next year, we will go back to an earlier date, as has been the practice in the previous years. There were a lot of questions which Mr. Saraf had sent in writing to the company, though he did not speak about those because he said there are too many questions. Nitin, should we write back to Mr. Saraf, or you want to undertake some of the, process of answering this question here? Because he did not mention all the questions that he raised.
No, I think we can send him detailed responses. I think a lot of his questions you've already answered, especially around the COVID plans. I think the only other one or two questions were pertaining to the capex plan, and I think that has been pretty steady for us. We are roughly 1 to 2% capex, and I think the other question was around our M&A and plan of using cash. And I think we are happy to note that we've already started executing on your suggestion. We just closed one acquisition last week, where we spent $94 million out of the cash that we had. So the plan definitely is to continue to see good use of cash and use it for accretive growth purposes. Other than that, I think, of course, we are also very, return of cash to shareholders very much on our list as well, which like this year, we have given special dividends. I think we will continue to evaluate the use of cash. Other than that, I think, Mr. Brar, we want a written response.
I think there was one question which related to that why we are paying dividend. Again, I think I go back to the question, Mr. Aspi Basania, why we are paying this much dividend and the cash can be used for acquisitions more. I think we have a policy and cash is enough for the running of the business despite the dividend that has been paid. And the dividend is a return to the shareholders, and the company and the board takes adequate care to have enough cash for sustainable operations, keeping in mind the growth that is expected in the company. Secondly, we have done acquisitions. As I mentioned in my remarks also, that we did 2 acquisitions within the last 15 months or so. Just recently, one we have concluded a week ago. We just cannot go and buy the company unless it fits in with the future strategy of the company. And to that, we have to undergo a lot of rigorous process of finding the right fit and finding the right acquisition candidate. But to assure you, we have kept enough cash for the acquisitions that we have in a targeted growth as per strategy. And you will see this happen. But also the dividend point that you made, this cash that the company has belongs to the shareholders at the end of the day. So we try to maximize within the ambit of operations, acquisitions, and return to the shareholders. The board decides to allocate the cash in the best possible manner. And as a board, we felt that rewarding shareholders with higher dividend is a good policy, but it is within the framework that has been established over the last few years by the company for keeping still enough cash for ongoing operations and acquisitions. And I think this policy has been good for the company. It's reflected in the market cap valuation of the company and based on the performance, but we just cannot go and buy companies and make acquisitions without finding the core of the strategy fit with the candidate that we may have. So I think with that, the only last question, Nitin, is the anguish expressed by the shareholder regarding this matter about the missing shares and that he's going around the circles. Now, I would request Mr. Madanlal to ensure that the relevant shareholder contacts the company directly for clarifications. And on a general note, the company cannot provide reimbursement for any expenses that are incurred in the process that you outlined for any shareholder. But we promise you that we will get into it in a more detail, and within the confines of the law that we face, we will try to resolve this matter to everyone's satisfaction. And Nitin, kindly ensure that the company secretary holds the meeting and the grievances or the situation is understood in more depth. And like he has suggested that we create a 3-member committee or whatever best is possible, please make sure that the anguish that because it's a large amount involved in the, I got a calculation done that there's a large amount involved, and I can understand the pain and anguish, but let's settle it whichever is the best way. But
Yes, Chairman.
give them the assurance and the air that he wanted more than anything else.
We'll do that.
So if there are any more queries, I think they can be sent to the company as a company secretary, and we will try and send your response in writing. And you can write to the secretary or to the this 30.agm@mphasis.com, and this will be responded to you by the management. This concludes the business of the day, and I take this opportunity to thank all the shareholders present here for their kind attention, cooperation, and valuable support from time to time. The combined results of the votes cast through remote e-voting and e-voting during the AGM on all the resolutions would be uploaded on the company's website and will be intimated to the stock exchanges as per the SEBI regulations by tomorrow. I wish the shareholders all the very best, good health, and staying safe and vaccinated in this current environment. I wish that we together with the rest of the world get over this pandemic swiftly, and we hope to meet you in person at the next available opportunity. I now declare this meeting as closed. Thank you.